Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'll be sharing how I got an 800 out of 800 in the SAT math section. Now, I'll be honest, I think SAT math is a complete joke because in the last 2 years of your high school, you're usually learning things like integral calculus and like matrices, but SAT math just tests you on things like basic trigonometry and algebra and like really basic statistics. So you should really be aiming to score very high on the SAT math section. So like at least 750 plus on the SAT math section. Now I do know that the format has changed. I don't really know the specificalities of like the new SAT format, but like I do think these like rules and tips should apply to even the new format. Now looking on my face, people are probably going off in the comments like, oh, this guy's Indian, of course he got 800 out of 800. No, that's not the reason, honestly. Just watch this video thoroughly and you will know why I did get 800 out of 800 on the math section. Alright, that said, let's go on to the first thing you must do to get an 800 out of 800 on the SAT math section. So first thing, learn the concepts properly. So you first need to thoroughly know what is going to come in the exam and what you're expected to know going into the exam. So for example, for me, I didn't know how box whisker plots work. I mean, they're really easy, but like I didn't know about them because it wasn't in my older curriculum. So if there's anything you don't know, just learn it. And honestly, what I would recommend is even if you know everything in the SAT math section, just go through the entire syllabus again and make notes on it, because this will be like really helpful going forward if you ever need like future reference. So how do you learn these concepts, you might ask me? Honestly, just use Khan Academy, pun not intended. Now, once you're done with like every section on Khan Academy, I would recommend you go on to like the test prep section, which has like questions for each concept, and start grinding a few practice questions on like the concept you just finished. And this will kind of help you like reinforce whatever you just learned on some like practical problems, which is very, very helpful. Once you're done learning every concept, I would highly recommend going through the Your Recommendation section on the top of the website. This basically personalizes the like topics it gives you questions from according to what you're bad at. And then it gives you more of the concepts that you're bad at. So this helps you improve more. And also at the end of like every Your Recommendation section, so you usually get 4, I think 4 or 5, but like the 4th or 5th one will be like a timed exercise, which is really good for preparing with the like time pressure and everything on the actual exam. The next thing, learn how to use the calculator. Now, though you have only one calculator section, it's really important to know how to use a calculator to like minimize the amount of time you take to solve every problem on the calculator section. From my experience, you really don't need to know anything too complicated, like you don't know how to graph functions or anything for like the SAT. But what's really important is knowing things like maybe simultaneous equations, so this could like save time for you. And also you need to like know where the trigonometric functions are located on the calculator. Like the last thing you would want is like looking for sine or cos in the SAT exam, and then you're like, oh man, I'm getting this question wrong because I don't know where the sine or cos button is. That's like the last thing you want. So like just know how to use your calculator, where the buttons are located, like just get used to it. The next thing, practice, practice, practice. I know like people don't like to hear that like you need to practice a lot, but let's be real, you need some amount of repetition to get like decent at anything, and the same is true for SAT math. Now, once you're done learning all the concepts, I would highly recommend 2 resources now, Khan Academy and also Princeton Review mocks. Now, Princeton Review books, they're not like official mocks, and I know a lot of people say only practice with official mocks. But from what I can see, Princeton Review's math section is actually pretty good. Not the same for the English section, but the math section is actually pretty close to actual SAT like mocks. So I would highly recommend you practice with Princeton Review. Do like a complete section at a time, like the entire math section at a time. And also make sure you're practicing with like the time pressure so you get like used to it. Next step, reflection. So what I mean by reflection is whenever you get an answer wrong in any section, whether non-calculator or calculator, understand exactly why you got it wrong. And you need to like correct your thinking after you know why you got it wrong. And this is extremely important because if you're just solving problems and you get questions wrong, but you're not seeing why you got them wrong in the first place, that's when you're not going to improve at all in the section. So when you get a question wrong, really understand why you got it wrong and understand how you can solve similar problems in the future, and this will help you score much higher on the actual exam because usually the types of problems don't change at all. Final step, practice with official mocks. Now, I would highly recommend you to practice with official mocks only once you have entirely exhausted Khan Academy and Princeton Review, And make sure you leave like 2 or 3 official mocks until 2 weeks before the exam so that you have some material to practice with like right before the exam. And using official mocks will like really help you understand exactly how college board like structures the question. Now I did say Princeton review is like very similar, but of course they can be the exact same, and college board does have a little bit of like differences. So practice with college board mocks and really understand how they ask questions. And also, whenever you get a question wrong, do make sure that you're continuously reflecting and understanding exactly why you got the question wrong. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.